our EST lah, not SUP is for this role, okay, for this time. Okay, so let's welcome Johan to talk about SONA. Yeah. SONA, Johan, do you want to share screen yourself in case?
Yes. Yeah, sure. I can share from my end.
Okay, yeah, Johan, you can take over.
Hi, everyone. Okay. Yeah, I think it's been a while I'm doing a presentation here, so still a bit nervous, but I think I can try to make it for my best. Yeah. So okay, I think everyone is ready. Yeah, if you are ready, you can give me a thumbs up. Yeah, so that I can move on. Okay. Okay, cool. So yeah, I think from now for this SONA Refresh consultancy space, I'll be mainly presenting on how actually how I will be explaining how's the OD model like again to get everyone to refresh a bit, and also I will be explaining on how to really fill in all the data, because I know that we have been shifted to an Infinity new OD model. So that's why we are having this consultancy space tonight. Okay, so I think before dive into more deeply, so I think let's have a recap. So for all the OD models, just to remember that it's actually a tangible tool in order to actually from our directions and also the ideation of how actually our organization is heading to, and also have a quick recap on what is the objectives of the model in term 22-23. Yeah, and also a very familiar graph again for all the PDI and HDI again, as you guys attended the last NEBN sessions, right? Yeah, so I think here are the categorizations. And also not to forget all the PDI indicators, all the measurements from better, faster, more sustainable, and also can also have a glance at all the weightage here, all the distributions, and also referring to our health development index. So we also divided by 3 major criteria as well. So we have membership experience, finance sustainability, and external relations. Cool. And also here are the distribution for each of the criteria for each of the weightage. Okay, so I think if you guys are curious, what are the benchmark, right? So I've actually already also attached all the operations index and also a health index here. So I think you guys can check it out into this spreadsheet, like to see in order what are the criteria benchmark to get like the full marks for the indicators itself. Okay. Yeah, so without further ado, so I think I would like to introduce our new model data collection framework. And I would say the current framework that you guys see in the SONA tracker is actually a tentative one. So I'll be explaining later on. So I think the main idea here is that, yeah, so actually what are the main changes from Blossom OD model framework to Infinity? Yeah. So I think actually there are more indicators measurement. So regarding for each of the PDI, HDI, under PDI, we have so many measurements, performance measurement we need to measure, and also as well as the health development index. And also secondly is about we actually focus on wider scope of performance measurement, like not just focusing in achieving the percentage of GVA. And also all of the data collected in the overall data tab are actually very significant, are very important to the contribution to each PDI and HDI. Yeah, so meaning that all the informations that you fill in the SONA is actually counted, contributes to all of the indicators. Yeah, so I think further on, yeah, of course, definitely, I won't just throw everything to you guys to fill in. So actually, there's a step-by-step tutorial on how everyone to fill in this SONA. So I think I will just share from here directly. while I'm explaining at the same time. Yep. So I think I will use SU Heroward SONA tracker. And then let me just adjust to smaller a bit. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. So as you can see, the major difference in this framework, right? So we have all the like there are so many things LC indicator tabs for PDI on the left column. And also if you can scroll to the right, actually there's a HDI for Health Development Index column also. Okay. So for both of these columns are actually really don't edit directly in the tables itself, because it's all of these are actually are all formulated. So meaning we cannot type in hardcore the values into this table. Yeah, so make sure not to change anything throughout these tables. Yep. So I think in order to make it for easier reference, right? Because I would say it's actually very scattered. So I think I also group for this table. So meaning that you can scroll both of these tables so that you make sure to really like make it easier for you to fill in the data, like not very cramp everything together. Yeah. Okay. So let's come back to here. So I think first of all, let's focus on the OGX itself. So OGX mainly, we have three main products which are OGV, OGTA, and also AWA. And also I will actually include university relation as well into under OGX. So I think for what are the main changes, right? For each of the tabs here. So other than filling up all the GVA and the process time. So there's a new elements indicator here. So which are the leadership promoter score. Yeah. So for this LPS, as I explained it previously, is also known as MPS, meaning that how likely does our friends or colleagues introduce Isaac to other people or other organizations, right? So in order to collect all this data, so I will need everyone's help to actually go to this national source tracker, yeah, to retrieve the data. So meaning under the home entity itself, just in like, for example, like what are the projects that you have held in the past summer. So you may insert all the project names here, or each of the end of RE date, and also to include how many total NYVs, and is the MPS form received? If not, then what are the average LPS also? Oops. This one is LPS. Yeah, okay, cool. Then same goes to OGTA as well. And then for each of for youth, we're also focusing on GVA as well as for the UR. For now, we are only measure for a number of approved, like how many approved you get from each of your UR market. Yeah, so you also can fill in your GVA here, because ideally we need to measure the average RE growth in approved for all market. Yeah, cool. So that's all for OGX. And then moving on to IGV. So IGV actually also having similar patterns on how to fill in the data compared to the previous model. So other than all the GVA and also the process time. And one of the part for, especially for ER and SEAL, ER part, yeah, for PBOX and also IGV and CROP. So you can actually put down like how many partners you have re-raised. So you can put down the actual number. So it can be the data, it can retrieve throughout the whole term itself. Yeah. So don't forget to update your MOA. And also same goes to the partner itself for the MPS. So make sure you fill in the company's name, MOA sign, and also if they have if we have sent out the MPS and also receive the MPS form, and also put down the MPS score. Yeah. Okay, so I think this similar applies to IGTA as well for youth and SEALs. So I won't repeat it. Yeah. And then also moving on to BD. So under BD, same as usual, we have FP, sponsorship, and AWA SEALs. So I think regarding this, I might need you all to actually fill in all the GVAs, the process time, and also the number of pre-raised partners in this row. And also remember to update your MOA and also to confirm if they have fill in all the MPS form. Yeah. So I think also that's all for BD. Yeah. And then also one special thing for this model framework is actually we require some data from FL as well, because I would say the formulations are and also calculations are actually a bit more. So I think I need maybe each of the VPFL to update the calculation for each of the functions profitability, as well as each of the financial sustainability indicator, like for example, gross profit margin, MOCR, MOFR, and debt ratio. Yeah. Okay. So, and then I think one most important thing is, so you can see there's a timeline here, right? Like for example, in BD, we have MOA sign, leads contact. Yeah. So make sure that if you are running this function, so make sure you fill in the timeline accordingly. So if you are not running this function, make sure to put it as not operating. So I think you can modify this under LC timeline tracker, which is here. Yeah. So remember to complete this, because I think in the end, right, the most important thing is I just take it an example for the formula. So as you can see in the formula here, so if your OGV does not run and or you didn't fill in the timeline, then it actually contributes back to NA, your data. So which means it's non-available. Yeah. So make sure you update your timeline accordingly. Okay. Yeah. So I think very lastly, so after you fill in all this data, make sure the status for the blank cells is 0 and the status is fully complete. And then also, I also actually put down all the tabulated summary here, so you can observe what are your final PDI and also your final HDI scores for each of the column. Yeah. And lastly, I also attach some national tracker here. I think if you want to track like comparing the data with other LCs or SU, so you can check it out through these national trackers. Yeah. Okay, so ideally that's all for it on how to fill in this data framework. And then let me come back to this slide. So basically I already explained all of this. Yeah. So, and then maybe just one last part is that, yeah, actually I'm still reframing for 2.0 framework is still under construction. So what will be the main difference between the current one and the working of the framework, right, is that actually we'll be having more integrations, meaning to collect the data directly from the national tracker. But however, this one still need more time to actually link with all of the trackers and spreadsheet. So the main idea here is that because I understand there are so many data we need to update, so eventually it will, in this new version, will be much simplified for the work itself. Okay, yeah, I think that's all for my presentations. And then let's have a check on the Q&A. Okay, so there's a questions from UNMC. Just to confirm, we need to list down all the partners and the MPS form from summer until now. Yes, for all the partners that have been MOA signed and also been formed in summer, so I think can advise to collect all the MPS. Yeah, because we need the data for the measurement.
On that question, right? So regardless if we were to re-raise the partner or the partner should continue in the next peak of the project, we'll still need to update, is it?
Yes. So meaning that if you re-engage the partners and also forming the partnership once again is also considered as one re-raise partner. Uh, okay, so for a third questions regarding the product profitability, for the calculations, I actually liaise with Brandon as well. So um, for all the data collections, it will be down skew, especially for the gross profit margin is actually a new data collection indicator. So meaning that previously in FL, we didn't collect this gross profit margin. So Brandon, MCVP FL will be downscale on how to collect this specific data as well as the product profitability, I believe. We'll follow up with him again.
Johan, I want to ask, right, for the under the OGX, the LPS, does that mean the LPS for previous peak or this peak?
Okay, so I think it's included in previous P as well because everyone need to know that for the OD model, we actually did retrieve the past 12 months of data. So reflect back to the past 12 months, we still need to collect all these necessary data. So it will be good if it can be updated in the Sona tracker itself. Okay, thanks for the questions, Chun-Hua.
Johan, I got a question.
Yes.
So for OGV, for example, sorry. For the youth, right, is only referring for OGTA, but for OGV is per project. So we'll need to average the LPS per project according to the approval, according to the realized, is it?
Yes. So because okay, so I'll just take it an example. So in our MYV, we have so many youth being realized in the project, right? So I mean it's quite hectic if we include each of their names in this tracker. Yeah. So to make it more compile, we just have to compile each of the MYVs under the same project. And then from the same project itself, we obtain the average of the LPS from the project. Does it make sense? Okay.
I got a question. Just to confirm, right, for the PM one is still the separate one that we utilize, right? So like previously in Blossoms one, there will be like this column to indicate the what's it called, MXP and everything, productivity and TSC score, everything. So for the latest one, there won't be, is it?
Okay, yeah. So I think I can clarify again. Yeah, so I think regarding the PM SONA is actually also being remodified again. So as you can see, because we actually collect different indicators compared to Blossom term. So it's actually remodified in terms of all this data collection is actually auto-generated from the tracker, our local trackers, and then it will be automatically shown here. And then all of this data will be directly transferred to the model data here itself. So it's actually linked together. Yeah. Oops. Right here. Yeah. And yeah, and also regarding the productivity, it's not part under membership experience for now. It's actually under the sustainable part for productivity, as you can see here. Okay, thanks for the questions.
Johan, I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, for the LPS, right? I think for the total MYV and also the total NPS received is a drop-down menu. So do we need to fill up the total number or just choose from the drop-down?
Um, oh, okay. Yeah, I think regarding this, right? We need to fill in the total number itself. Yes, the total number, not the drop down. I think there's some error when I just copy the tab. Yeah, so I think you need to put the specific number for LPS. Yeah, thanks for the clarifications.
Yeah, let's go with one last minute so that we can close this space. Yeah. If you are cool, can just put a wave lah, okay? Yeah, if you have any questions, just ask in these slides or directly just ask in the group so Johan can help to answer.
Yes, can find me anytime, but not during my sleeping time.
Okay. All right. Yeah, don't find Johan during his sleeping time. Maybe you can let them know when it's your sleeping time. Then everyone will call you in your sleeping time. Okay. All right. Okay. Thanks, Johan, for the, intensive class. Yeah, you looks like a teacher teaching all the kids in using tracker. Okay. All right. Yeah. Thanks, Johan, for the hard work for Sona. Yeah. If you guys want to offer help for Johan, feel free to approach him.